Hi, everyone. Welcome back. You're still with us here on the C Morning Show. Now, you may or may not know that wetlands play a crucial role as a source of water to protect our coastal lines, as well as it being the planet's largest storage for carbon. It is also essential for agriculture and fisheries. Wetlands are life's foundation. However, the current environmental crisis we are facing is threatening them. Climate change, pollution, and environmental degradation, along with biodiversity loss.
Yes, in commemoration of World Wetlands Day tomorrow, we will explore their role in maintaining the global ecosystem balance and also human well-being. So today, we have the right person to talk to. That is Pak Yus Rusila Noor, the head of Wetlands International Indonesia. Selamat pagi, good morning, Pak Yus. Thank you for coming.
Morning.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So, Pak, explain, why is the existence or the presence of wetlands very important to our lives?
Yeah, I think we can talk in many ways. But as I asked earlier, do you drink water every day?
Yes.
Do you eat rice
Absolutely.
Yes.
every day?
Yes.
And that's wetlands.
Right.
So I think wetlands provide so many what we call environment service.
Environment service in what way, Pak?
Environment service, meaning that wetlands provide what we call as a provisioning service. So it's mean wetlands provides product like water, like rice. Rice is from what we call man-made wetlands.
Oh, okay.
Right.
And then so many things. I think 2004, there's a wake-up call when we have a tsunami.
Yeah.
And then there was a study that in the areas where there is mangrove stand
Yes.
has less impacted by tsunami.
Right.
Wow.
Which is why President Jokowi had initiated more and more mangroves.
Yes.
Right.
And mangroves is only an example
Sure.
of wetlands. There are still many more peatlands, swamp, and many things between water and inland area. That's wetlands.
So
Very
basically,
ironic.
it's
just like-
very, very important to our lives.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
just-
like
Yeah.
water is life, but also it protects us from natural disasters
Yeah.
such as tsunami. So what is the current landscape of wetlands in Indonesia? Is it good? Is it not good? Can we improve it?
Yeah. I think it is not only in Indonesia, but we also talk about the wetlands globally. And then, in one hand, we always say that wetlands is very important. Wetlands is essential for our life. But on the other hand, the data is not very good because 90% of wetlands has lost in since 1,700 or 300 years ago. So 90% lost. So it's
What
mean that
happened, Pak?
yeah, it's so many things happening. I mean, the modernization, the change of land use from wetlands into human settlements, industrialization, that kind of thing, which I think that's not only happening to wetlands, but to almost all forests. Yeah. I mean, the short-term thinking on how to get the economic prosperity
Yes.
and then jeopardizing the wetlands areas. And then the thing is, wetlands has lost more than the other ecosystem. I think that's which people don't feel like that. But I think once the role of wetlands is lost, then people think, yes, I need wetlands, but perhaps it's too late.
You don't know what you got till it's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And these wetlands, just because they're uninhabited, for forests, for example, where, there's these animals that need to live there. When it comes to wetlands, you don't make that correlation as well. That's why you say a lot of people, they don't find it easy to relate the importance of wetlands.
Yeah, I think in Indonesian, we know what we call that wetlands is always sometimes regarded as the place where genie abandon their children. tempat buang
Oh, tempat buang jin.
buang anak.
Oh my
Right.
God.
Goodness, yeah.
So I mean, this kind of it might be not true, but I mean people believe that
Yes.
wetlands.
That's why they try to get rid of it. Is
Yeah.
that it?
I-
Because of that belief. It's not based on science.
You don't
Yeah.
place any importance on it, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, that's
but-
very sad.
But when I started my work in Wetlands International in
Yeah.
1980s,
Yeah.
and then we use what the program of computer would start at the time.
Yes.
And then we type wetlands. And then they said, what do you mean? Do you mean wasteland?
Oh my goodness.
Oh no,
So, I mean-
Pak.
There's not even information that you can find.
Yeah,
Oh.
the word of lahan basah, which is
Right.
the wetlands
Lands,
in
yeah,
Indonesian word,
yeah.
is not exist in 1980s. So I mean, there is still many things to do. There is a long journey to
Yeah.
reach that even the basic information of wetlands
Yeah.
is not clearly understood. Yesterday I talked with the MPR,
Yeah. The
not-
people's representative.
Yes, and not many people understand what is wetlands. But
Yeah.
but when you talk about water, I think everybody knows
Sure.
water.
Everybody knows exactly.
And water is wetlands.
Water is wetlands.
So I think it's depend on how we bring this into the public.
Correct.
Don't push to understand what wetlands is.
Yes.
But if you understand water, if
Yeah.
you understand rice, if you understand fish,
Right.
it's okay.
Yes.
You are talking about wetlands.
We're talking about wetlands. So how do we restore our wetlands? Because you said since the 1700s, well, it's 90% gone. And this is not good news, by the way.
Yeah.
So, and we humans, we have the brain to restore it. We have the intelligence to restore it. Why not restore it, right? How?
Yeah. It's many ways. I think in Indonesia now plan to restore 600,000 hectares of mangroves area.
Is that good? Is that not enough? Is that, what do you think?
But the study from World Bank
Yeah.
say that the cost or the benefit of conserving the intact wetlands, the still good wetlands,
Yes, that we
is
still have.
actually more benefit than restoration.
I see.
But the show must go on.
Yeah.
Some wetlands are still not in a good condition. That's why I think restoration is the option we
I
should take
see.
it. I think that there is no choice
Yeah.
that we have to restore the wetlands. And in terms of mangroves, for example, unfortunately, that many of the restoration initiative were failed.
Why,
It's
Pak?
because of some reason, which I can explain later. But the thing that what we do, Wetlands International did some planting program, especially after the tsunami event.
Yeah, yeah.
But then we found out that it's not the best way. I'm saying the best. It is good, but not the best way.
Right, right.
Then we found out that the best thing to do is to restore the habitat of mangrove. Then mangrove can grow naturally without human intervention. Because in the field, in the ecosystem can grow, can help themselves.
Yes, that's
And
true.
what we
Nature is intelligent.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then what we are doing is just to help them to grow naturally. We are doing this in certain area,
Yeah.
and then in the mark, for example,
Yeah.
then we put a fence in the coastal area.
Yes.
By the way, they have lost 2 kilometers of their coastal area because they cut the mangroves to become fish pond.
Oh my goodness.
2 kilometers. And then the impact is that the soil is subsided,
Yes, abrasi.
abrasi, subside, and then now they have to spend more money just to buy a soil. Just
Refill, to
refill.
Yeah,
restore
yeah.
it.
Because now the door is getting lower
Right.
and lower and lower.
Goodness.
So I think based on that, again, I said that people think the importance of wetland when their surface is lost.
Yes, 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 yes.
So,
But it's too
But
late.
we're causing that to begin with.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
very ironic.
Well, because I mean, they didn't do enough study. They were just thinking, it's like, hey, you know, we can make money out
This
of
is what we
this.
need, right.
Chop, chop, chop,
Yeah.
and then it's like, oh,
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
this is not good.
And then this is two loss.
Yes.
The first loss is they lost the opportunity, the service. And the second one, they have to pay more.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's actually costing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think forest fire. We shouting that our neighbors country in Singapore, Malaysia, shouting that they have problem. But I think the people who suffer most from this is actually people who live around the area.
course.
Correct.
Because they can no longer catch a fish,
Yes.
they can no longer get a livelihood, but in addition, they have to pay more
Correct.
to go to the hospital for their lung problem.
Sure.
Yeah. We're causing humans. Why? Why are
Money,
we
of
doing
course,
this to
that's why.
ourselves, right?
Money which
Exactly.
eventually will be paid back to restore
Aye.
these things. I want to mention something that our team dug up. Indonesia actually ranks second as the largest emitter of carbon emissions from land use change globally. Now, we mentioned earlier the use of wetland and its relation to carbon sinks. Can you explain a little bit more and what the impact could be on our future?
Yeah. The Indonesia actually has developed what we call as a national strategy on the management of wetlands,
Oh, good.
which is more focused on the peatland and mangroves. So I think I don't know by heart the number, but the strategy mentioned about the target for reforestation,
Yeah.
the target for reducing the deforestation,
Yeah.
the target for reducing the emission. Which I think the intention is to tackle what you mentioned earlier. This is related with the role of mangrove on carbon sinking, for example. Carbon storage, for example.
Yeah.
But I think a plan is only a plan without careful implementation.
Correct.
And I think there are at least 4 things need to be considered as a key factor. First is related with the synchronization of the policies.
Okay.
We have so many policies.
From different ministries, you
Yes.
mean?
I mean,
Okay.
we have so many
Yeah.
policies, but sometimes it is not synchron between one and the
They're
other.
not in line with each other, right?
And wetlands is departmental business.
Okay.
Right.
I mean, when you talk about climate change, you talk about UNFCCC.
Yes.
And when you talk about biodiversity of wetland, and you talk about UNCBD, the Convention on Biodiversity. When you talk about the disaster, and you talk about UNDRR, disaster risk reduction. So I think it is multi-facet
Is it easy to
attention.
synchronize the regulations? Because we don't have time, right, Pak? We have to do it quick, no?
Yeah, time is not in our side, but we have to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is our pledge to government, that synchronization of policy is key. I think government knows about it. That's why they have Musrenbang. That's why they have so many activities. But again, the second one is the law enforcement. I think this is another story. I think you can do a talk show, a special talk show on this with many government institutions. That
Yes.
The law enforcement is key, and we are not very pleased with this.
When it comes to wetlands, how does law enforcement come in? I mean, for example, with deforestation, usually, yes, law enforcement come in because probably there's illegal logging, illegal plantation, but with wetlands, what are the common criminal activities?
Yeah, I think the news, we read so many news about this law enforcement in forest fire, for example, especially forest fires from peatlands areas. And then many companies or been fined by government because they are blamed to spark the
forest
fire.
fires, yes.
But then the question, do they actually execute it?
Right.
So I mean,
Or is it even the fine enough of an impact for them to deter them from doing it?
Yeah.
If they can just pay the fine and just
Yeah.
continue to do it. Right?
yeah. This is for the company. I think this is not about the money, but also about reputation.
Okay.
Reputation. And then the third one, to my understanding, is the use of science and technology.
Not enough, or
I think we have a plenty of opportunity of this, but I think the decision-making process need to be based on science and technology.
Okay.
So I mean,
right?
not by it's good to do this, or maybe not do this, but this one.
So how do people make decisions at the moment? Because that is contrast.
Yeah. I think
science and
there is a coordination meeting in the government.
Right.
I'm pretty sure, and I'm part of it, that they use the science and technology. But again, when I say this 1, 2, 3, it should be a combination of those points.
Yes.
I mean, when we say using science and technology, so it means also a synchronization of science and technology.
Right.
Now we have what we call one map policy.
One map policy. It has been quite a while, right?
Yeah. I think it's a good move. So then people or government use this map for any decision-making process. I think technology is allow us to do this at the moment.
Yes.
And the fourth one, which this is the core business of Wetlands International, is working with communities.
Yes.
Because they are the one who will suffer, but also will enjoy the benefits of wetlands.
Yes.
So I think any initiatives on wetlands, conservation, restoration, has to be regarded and enjoyed by local community as a benefit.
Yeah.
Because if they think this is the benefit, we don't need to ask them to participate.
They'll protect it themselves.
They've protected themselves.
Yes.
And I can ensure this because we experienced for almost 40 years doing this. And then this is the good way of doing the business.
Yes.
I think this is important. Of course, it should be careful because that's why we spend 20 to 40% of our first project activities. Just keep talking with people.
Yes, engaging with the community. Yeah.
But you have to be very careful because they have their own politic agenda.
Okay. Local government?
Even people.
Yeah, of course.
We have to bring your own agenda? What's it called? Plan.
Yes.
Make it work with local community.
Yes.
Use scientific data, and bring our data and information from the ground, bring it into national level, bring it to global level.
Yeah.
I talk with people in Mentangi area. I talk with people in Sembilang area of South Sumatra. It's very remote area, and I brought it into Milan. I brought it into Nairobi.
Nice.
I brought it into New York. Just to talk. Look, people think that you are not doing right. Do this.
Right.
But at the end, I also bring what people think in New York, what people think in Milan, bring it to local community.
Yes. It's the transfer of knowledge.
Yeah. It is quite amazing that I talk with people in the middle of the forest fire in Central Kalimantan, and I talk it to Canada, talking with Nunavut people. Nunavut is in the North Pole.
Wow.
With the, And they say thank you to people in Central Kalimantan because they protect the peatland,
Yes.
which make the climate getting better.
Yes.
and then it's avoid the ice melt in our area.
That's
So
how
this
we
is
are
kinda-
so interconnected, right?
Yeah.
And this is the thing. This is the sort of mindset that we need to remind us, all of us, every day, is that we are actually interconnected.
Yeah.
It's like what we do has an impact on others, has an impact on our environment, and thus on others, other
world.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much, Pak Yus. I wish we could talk about
I know.
this, right? It's fascinating.
Yeah, and I think it's important for us to, I mean, obviously this is just a brief discussion,
Yes.
but it's important for you to find out more as well about what you can do. We can all do our part, certainly here in the big city as well, and don't have to be living near wetlands to be able to be a part of its contribution.
Exactly. And what is the website of Wetlands International?
Wetlands.org.id.
Wetlands.org.id. Okay, there you go. Well, thank you so much, Pak Yus, for this insightful discussion. Unfortunately, we are set for another break. When we return, we'll bring you updates from around the world.